Well, hi, I'm Clint Brown. I'm the Director of Software Products here at Esri. I've been working at Esri since 1983. I work closely with Scott Morehouse, Dirk Gorder, Jim McKinney, and Damian Spangrud to help build our system, to evolve it, to design it, to come up with the ideas, to implement those, and then to release our product. I got my master's degree from Texas A&M in College Station in 1978. Originally, what I'd wanted to do was to go into population dynamics, wildlife biology. I had this great analytical background as an undergrad, so the department recommended that I talk to the statistics department. That's how I got involved. Once I graduated, I got my dream job with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I went to Fort Collins, Colorado, and worked on a methodology there with a number of really bright people. It was called the Habitat Evaluation Procedures. And it was kind of an interesting system. It was kind of a geographic accounting system for assessing habitat values and also for evaluating projects, kind of compare things over a broad time range, say 50 years. And then in 1981, I had the opportunity to move to Anchorage, Alaska to work again for the Fish and Wildlife Service, and we applied these techniques to national wildlife refuge planning. It was there that I met Jack Dangerman, Bill Derenbacher, and a number of other Esri people and got to know people at Esri. When I got here, Esri had just over 50 employees, and we had 10 or so people working in software development. I can remember it pretty clearly. There were two really key things that happened. One of them was Scott handed me a paper, and it was called Thinking About Software as a Product. So back in 1983, there weren't many very large software companies. This was a whole kind of new approach, this idea that you had a set of named releases that released on a schedule, that had a set of specific capabilities that were part of that release, and so on. So we started to apply those techniques as we were building the product. Now, Scott had already built ArcGIS version 1. I think he'd been here for about a year and a half. And the other thing that he said to me is, he said, "Clint, I want to do programming, take care of everything else." So what I started to do was I worked on the documentation, I managed the testing. At the time, it took a week to install the computers. We had a set of installers that we'd send on site. I worked on the training, so we would schedule trainings. I managed the user conference. At that time, there were 35 people at the conference. I even helped manage contracts with Logan Hardison for our software. And the way we organize our work is we organize them into a number of small focused projects. Each project team has about a dozen people. Typically on those teams, you'll find about half of them are software developers and half of them are product engineers. These are analysts, database architects, web application programmers, and so on. These people really represent our customers, and we put these people together on teams, and they focus on a particular aspect of the product. That development work then is also turned into a number of other activities that we work on. We work in our group on testing and quality assurance. We track the bugs, the programmers repair the bugs. We work on documentation and the resource center. So our teams are capturing the best practices of the GIS methods that I talked about. We're also documenting how to use the software, and we release that as part of the product. We believe in the work of our users. We find that our support for their work, our ability to enable them is pretty inspiring. We're able to do that because the rest of ESRI, the marketing teams, the sales teams, the professional services teams, the support teams, the education teams, all have enabled our users and have been able to take the platform that we've been able to create and really leverage that in our user community. Our ability to be financially sound has enabled us to just stay focused on building the best technology that really helps our users do great work. Thanks.